Hey, this video is for Friday, February 24th, 2012. I wanted to give a few pullback names to possibly get into long with some call options next week. First, let's look at the SPY. You can see that we reached the 137.20 level intraday today. We pulled back slightly, and the previous level on this was 137.18. So, obviously we were expecting a pullback. I've talked about it in my last video, and I also talked about how we need to be patient and how I was positioned for this for the short side. But another thing that's interesting here that is the UUP, the dollar. You can see that the dollar continues to fall. So as the dollar is falling, the market typically rallies, and that's not been happening this past week. You can see the dollar fell 1, 2, 3, out of the 5 trading days this week, excuse me, 4, the market fell. So you can see that the dollar has now sort of broke this low, and we're down at the 200-day moving average. This should provide a little support for the dollar, if not a bounce. And that's my concern for the market, because if the SPY can't seem to make new highs while the dollar is making new lows, and then the dollar were to rally, then I think a pullback probably happens. So we'll see how it plays out next week. Again, we're consolidating kind of up at the highs, sort of this little mini double top if this thing comes down. I'm not expecting a big crash, but again, maybe a move to the 20-day or possibly this small gap fill around the 133, 132 level. So on a pullback, though, some names I'm interested in is Goldman Sachs and the financials. You can see Goldman has had trouble at the 118 level, but now we're consolidating up there, and we're also kind of above the 200-day moving average with the yellow 20-day moving average coming up. So I think if you can get in around 114 or so with some call options, I would look at April at this point, and I would look at either the 115 or 120 call options. I think if we can get above 118, then you got a pretty clear shot at 125. So that's one long play. Another one I'm looking at is Disney, which already sort of broke this previous resistance around 41, and it's consolidating up here between this next level. I think if we get some sort of pullback, you can get back in at the 20 here, or maybe if you want to get aggressive at the 41 level, look for a break of 42. I think that you can get up to this 43 and a quarter level. So one more that I'm looking at is IBM. IBM had a monster day yesterday and is now sort of, taking a little bit of a breather. Got right up to near the 200, big round number resistance. I think this consolidation here around the 195 would be a good place to get long if we get a pullback. So if the market pulls back, I would be looking to get in to IBM there. And again, if you're looking for directional options, I would probably start looking at April options at this point, since there's only about 20 days left in the March options. That way you can get a little more swing out of it. So that's all I got for today. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll catch you later.